And one of the things, just returning quickly to this issue with conservatism, always strikes me is that we do have equal weapons. It's just that nobody wants to wield them. I think an example I've given to you in private before is that I've often thought that there's almost as if both political sides have, as it were, a box of dangerous things that they know they can call upon, they know they can open it and use if needed, sort of with a hammer break this in case of political emergency. And the left have, obviously, resentment, class hatred, and many other forms of resentment, and they are pulling it out, they're letting things off, they're seeing flares go off, sometimes they go and take somebody out and they don't apologize, and then some, and they have got total run of their box.
Yes.
And on the right, there is a box of useful things, which again can go wrong, but may also be the thing you need most if you're going to win any political fight, and it's chained, it's covered in a rug, we pretend it isn't there, and yet it would seem to me that the thing most obviously in that box is precisely this: love of country, love of society, love of the things you have, not wanting to change them unrecognizably or carry out a political experiment for a nirvana you haven't quite imagined yet. And we do have that. And just a final thought on that, if I may, which is that, you know, I might be breaking a confidence now, but hell, why not? But, I mean, I was recently at something with a Conservative MP, and somebody asked a very good question of this Conservative. They pointed to somebody in the room who was, it was a dinner, and somebody was serving some wine, and somebody pointed to this young man and said, "How old are you?" He said, 24 or something. And this person said, "Do you own a house?" He said, "No." He said, "Do you think you'll ever own a house?" He said, "No." And the interviewer turned to this politician and said, "So what do you say to him?" Very good question. Very pertinent question for everyone. And the response was fine. It was brownfield sites featured prominently in the answer. And I just could have wept because, as I said to this person afterwards, you know, the left is coming at us with everything they have, and you're giving us brownfield sites? That's not going to do it. The left is promising him everything if he votes for them, and you're offering him this possibility of a huge mortgage at some point in the future way out of town. Who's going to win? But we do have things.
Yes. Well, the particular issue in question is one about which I'm quite an expert now.
Yes.
I would say that there is a clear answer to the housing crisis, which is to build more beautifully so that people cease to object. And then you can build anywhere. Nobody would object if you built Bath again in the middle of the countryside. But that would require, first of all, it would require an ongoing battle against the architects, the volume builders, and all the vested interests that align themselves behind them. But that could be done, and let's face it, it was being done, and until this fatal discovery that there was a Conservative in the midst of it.
Before we get on to the nature of that fatal discovery, what is the problem with the house building on this? Because you spent many months looking into it, you spent a lifetime thinking about architecture and aesthetics, but what were the main things that struck you in the months you were dedicated solely to this?
Well, first of all, that because we have an adversarial planning system in which all people can take part and raise their objections, which is a very healthy thing democratically, we also have the consequence that those who have most to lose from a new development, or think they have most to lose, will gang up against the the developers. And so we have a massive resistance to the building of new housing schemes from people whose amenities and environment will be taken away by them. Because so much of what is built now, and especially in the centers of our towns, you know, the square the cubes of glass that are dropping everywhere, these things are not just hateful to people, but they are destructive of their sense of home. They make real places into non-places. And that's what's happening in all our developments. And the reason being that things are not designed as places. There are economic reasons for this, there are stylistic reasons, and there's a general growth of ignorance about what architecture really is. Architecture means the building of a genuine home, a place where you can belong, and you can't belong in a place if others don't belong there too. So the solution is to make places and not drop little boxes everywhere or glass cubes in the towns. And we have so many examples of places. All our old towns are lovely places where people want to be. There's no reason why it couldn't be done again. And that would be the answer. People would, after a while, see, yes, of course, we can't object. And more people recognize that we shouldn't object to providing housing for the people who haven't got it.